Hello, this is Lucia with The Art of Love, and this week I would like to talk about how to know if someone will cheat. Now, I've heard of many explanations as to how to find this out. One of them is that for guys, if they have a lot of testosterone, they're more likely to cheat. But, how are you supposed to use that in practical everyday life? You meet someone and it's like, excuse me, I need to test your testosterone. You can't really do that. Or there's lots of tests online where you answer questions about your partner and then you can find out what the likelihood is that they'll cheat. But that's a lot of work. So I always like to simplify things, and I found what I think is the best explanation as to how to know if someone will be unfaithful. Now, I've always maintained, and I think you'll probably agree, that infidelity is a choice. So when someone just says, "Oh, I don't know what happened, like one thing led to another, and before you know it, we were having sex," it's like, come on, shut up. That's not how it happens. You made a choice all along the way. You made a choice to meet up with the person, or if you just happen to meet them, you had to go someplace private, and then you had to decide to kiss. Infidelity always starts with a kiss, and every kiss begins with K. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Then you had to decide to take off your clothes, to unzip, unbutton, etc. So all along the way, you're making choices, and at any point, you could have made the choice to stop, but you didn't. So, I believe the best way to know if someone will cheat is to look at how they make their choices in life. And I heard this from author Mark Manson, who you may have heard of. He has a large following, and he has an algorithm for this. And it says that when self-gratification is more important than the intimacy you have in your relationship, then cheating is more likely. So we all want self-gratification. We want delicious food, great sex, great sleep, and we also want intimacy. We want to love and be loved. And sometimes these two desires contradict each other. And so to have intimacy, sometimes you have to sacrifice self-gratification or delay it, which means that, if you're in a committed monogamous relationship, you don't have sex with other people. And to achieve self-gratification, you sometimes have to sacrifice intimacy, meaning that you prefer to go out with your friends at some point instead of being with your partner. So to the extent that someone values self-gratification more than they value intimacy, to that extent, they are more likely to cheat. So that's why someone can be in an unhappy relationship and not cheat, and someone else will. It's the importance that they place on their self-gratification, on making sure that they're happy. So you have to look at what percentage of someone's choices are about doing what's best for them, and what percentage are about protecting the intimacy they have in the relationship. So if they're always making choices that are what's best for them, then they're probably not really a good candidate for someone to be in a relationship with, because they probably will cheat because it's all about them. So whenever they're unhappy in their relationship, if you decide you don't want to have sex with them that night, then they'll be like, well, I don't care about the intimacy. I want to have sex, so tomorrow I'm going to call someone up and I'm going to have sex. That's obviously not someone you want to be in a relationship with. You want to look for someone who places intimacy first. And yes, of course, we all want to do things once in a while that they're just about us, and we're not all about the intimacy all the time. That's why I say, you don't have to do everything together. You can't always make sacrifices, because at some point you'll be like, hey, I've made too many sacrifices. So if you meet someone and they usually golf on a Saturday morning, don't try to get them to stop golfing on a Saturday morning. People have to do their own thing part of the time. That's fine, but not every single time. Otherwise, they should just be alone, right? So there you have it. That is the best way to assess whether someone will cheat. Look at how they make their choices, their decisions, and is it always about them, or do they put the relationship first? So if you have any questions or comments, you can contact me at my website, theartoflove.net. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would appreciate it if you would rate and review the podcast. And until next time, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.